Hey Irfan, how's it going?
Great, great. It's good to see you as always.
Yeah,
So today I want to talk about VAs, right? We'll say that word all the time. People don't even really understand it if they're not familiar with it. But we're talking about virtual assistants, and this is a great aspect of your business you can implement pretty much today to get the help you need for your business and to pretty much free up your time so you can focus on more important things. So I guess I'll start out with kind of getting your feedback since you've been pretty much most involved with hiring VAs for our previous companies, and you're currently hiring VAs for other companies as well, other clients, let me say. And I just want to get your feedback of the needs you're seeing and what problems you're solving with the hiring of VAs right now.
yeah. So, I mean, the importance of hiring a virtual assistant or multiple cannot be overstated. I mean, it's so critical to a business owner who wants to expand, especially if you're just starting out by yourself. You're going to just run into tasks that you sit there and say, wait a minute, why am I doing this? This is not efficient at all. I'm sitting on the phone, I'm texting with people, I'm calling. I don't need to do this. But some people, they just have a hard time relinquishing control. So it's really important for a business owner to realize this. And sometimes it takes a conversation with someone else. So, for example, I've spoken to people and then I just say, take me through your day. And then they'll explain what they're doing. And I say, wait a minute, do you have a virtual assistant? And they say, no. I'm like, you got to get one immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, it's super important.
So what are the more specific examples? Like what I guess you can give an example of what we've used VAs for in our prior businesses, and then kind of take it from there.
Yeah, so I mean, whenever you're talking about real estate operations, you're normally involved in leasing, right? If you're doing any sort of rental. So leasing is an extremely kind of hectic and just very communication heavy process because you're trying to gather prospects who want to view a property. They have questions about the property. There's requirements to, lease the property. There's different kind of requirements, or there's different, I should say, kind of things that people bring to the table that may not make them a good fit for the property. So there's all sorts of questions. There's scheduling. How do you see the property? And so utilizing a virtual assistant to handle the communication, calls, texts, emails, scheduling, all of that is super important. Without a virtual assistant and or software, we also use software to automate a lot of this. It just consumes your entire time. And people generally aren't always the most reliable. I mean, so a lot of times they'll schedule something and then they'll change it. They'll say, I want to meet today. Then they'll say, I can't meet today, or they don't show up at all. So it's really important to be in constant communication with them, have a plan, and then whoever you're setting up, maybe to go show a property or continue the process, you don't want to waste their time either. So it's kind of like a chain. So that's one of the main things that we have utilized virtual assistants to do.
Yeah, and then on my side, I've utilized them for bookkeeping or consistent, repeatable tasks that I had no interest in doing, right? So bookkeeping can be, if you set it up correctly, a consistent, repeatable task. And I guess eventually AI or software is going to take over these tasks, but at this
Yeah.
point, we need somebody that can make decisions on behalf of the business or on behalf of the business owner. And I think that's something that a lot of business owners don't realize, that these people are people, right? These
Yeah.
virtual assistants are people, and they're able to make decisions. And just like a standard domestic employee, they can make the decisions on the best of your behalf if you guide them correctly, right? So
Yeah.
the need to guide them correctly is also something that kind of needs to happen and needs to be implemented to make sure that the VA process is working correctly. So that's great, Alex. I think that kind of explains to us where the needs are. If you could kind of explain some of the benefits, right? So I just said different countries, right? So are there countries that you are looking specifically for VAs? are there specific talents that you're looking for VAs? Like, what are some of the pros, and like what type of VAs are out there that you can find?
Yeah, so there's virtual assistants all over the world in so many different countries. And if something like language is important to you, like a language, I would say, besides English, you can find a virtual assistant that can cover Spanish speaking, for example, right? Or if you have, Portuguese speaking clients, or any language really. So if you're looking for language, that's going to be one of your main points that you want to consider. As far as us, we look in various countries. We feel like generally, and this is kind of across the board, the Philippines is a good option for most people because the English fluency there is very high, and also there's this thing called BPO, business process outsourcing, and a lot of US companies, when they started outsourcing their call centers and things like that, a lot of it got routed to the Philippines, which trained them in not only in English but also in dealing with the public, the American public, and their way and style of presenting issues, of just their mannerisms. It's really important. And so the Philippines kind of has a leg up. And also, of course, you have India and other, power centers around the world for customer service where they can handle this as well. So anywhere where they have customer service experience prior is really helpful. And so, yeah, the Philippines is one of the main countries for that.
And and what could you expect to see as a rate to pay VAs in general, or and how's that compared to domestic employees?
Yeah, so I mean, virtual assistants, the rate can go as low as $3 to $4 an hour, although that's becoming less and less common nowadays, all the way up to, I mean, depending on the skill set, I'm sure you can get into the 20 something dollars per hour. I would say the average for most work is somewhere between $7 to $15 an hour for most tasks, depending on what you're looking to get done. And I would say generally you get what you pay for. So it's usually a good idea to pay a little more than maybe what someone told you can do, because as I am still actively hiring virtual assistants, I am noticing a difference even in just the slightest amount, where more higher quality people are asking for more, and it's almost always worth paying that little more of a price. So yeah.
We've seen that multiple times, and we've had to renegotiate with our VAs personally to make sure that they're happy with us. And if they're putting in the work, we're pretty much glad to find a balance that works for both of us. So, but yeah, that's great advice, Alex. Anything else you want us to kind of think of related to the VA hiring process, or related to VAs in general?
Yeah, I mean, again, they take so much of the brunt off your shoulders, and especially in communications, calls, text, emails, sitting on the phone. In real estate, there's a lot of calling the city or calling the utility companies. You could spend easily an hour on the phone with the water company just trying to figure something out, and hiring someone else to do that is just saves so much of your time. And it really goes back to the concept of what we're trying to do here, right? We're trying to save business owners time. And a good tip for everyone is you should have in your mind what your time costs per hour. And anything that's less than that, you should be trying to push it out to other people all the time. And a virtual assistant's the first step and the easiest way to push out, work that is not like super consequential to your business. And it's a good stepping stone to trying to give out more work, right? Maybe you start with the virtual assistant and you say, hey, this is really working well for me. And then you say, what else can I get off my plate, right? And then you say, why am I like signing up for this software and going on a demo call? Can I hire someone for that? Yes. You can hire us, or you can go on Upwork and find freelancers. There's so much opportunity to outsource your work. And I think virtual assistant, once you start and you see the benefits, a light's kind of going to go off in your head and say, wow, this is really, I should have got started on this way earlier.
Absolutely. No, I think it's been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to expand and grow, leverage people at a much lower rate than what we would have domestically. And we do have our domestic people as well. We still work in our businesses as well. So there's sometimes no replacements for certain items and certain decisions to be done. But the more you can push off, definitely the better.
Yeah.
Alex, great job today on explaining the benefits of VAs. I really appreciate it. I think we're giving out gold right now in terms of the value proposition that you can pretty much instantly have by hiring a new VA for your company. So again, appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course, anytime. And we'll talk later.
Talk soon.